Now, for more information on the North American split, I'd like to welcome Cloud9's High to the set. Cloud, thank you for joining us.
Hey, how's it going?
Pretty good, pretty good. You happy to be back?
Yeah, I'm ready to go. I'm ready to play.
First off, before we get started, I want to know how a North American top League of Legends player spends this holiday.
Well, for Thanksgiving, I went home and spent time with my family and my girlfriend, but then I came back for after Christmas. Yeah, after Christmas. Mm-hmm. And I played a lot of solo queue. I got kicked out of like the top 10 in Challenger during Worlds, and that kind of upset me. And I got kicked out again for being inactive again. So I've been trying to climb back up there, even though it's the preseason. I'm like halfway there. I'm like 500 points in. So I've just been spamming solo queue to try to get back there.
Yeah, and you're actually the only North American team to not make a roster swap or change. Why did you guys decide to stay pat, and how do you feel you guys are going to be going in with it?
Well, when a team goes 25-3, for the most part, you normally don't want to do a roster change because you did pretty well, and we all like each other anyway, so we didn't see a reason to change rosters. We did well. We like each other. And what is there to change right now? If we go like 0-28 this split, then maybe I could see us doing something, because that'd kind of suck, but we did pretty well, and we're hoping to keep that up.
So obviously keeping the winning focus going on, what do you guys focus on over the holiday, being 25-3 out of the splits? How do you get better?
Well, you just forget about how you did last split. That doesn't matter anymore. That's part of the past. Whatever we did was then. Mm-hmm. And we have to look towards this split. We wanted to play a lot of solo queue, work on mechanics, learn the new champions because of the new patch, and just make sure our game is at the top level. So we're trying our best to become good again, or like become the best. I don't know.
Yeah, and a lot of the things you were saying last year when you kind of exploded on the North American scene was a lot of the copying of the Korean scene and maybe just, oh yeah, we're just watching a lot of OGN. But that's changed a little bit, hasn't it?
Yeah.
How you're preparing.
So even though we said that in the beginning split, I personally don't watch that much OGN. We didn't watch too much of it. We liked watching it, obviously, because you pick up what you can. Mm-hmm. But since we were a patch ahead of them for a while, we have to learn things on our own, do things on our own. And since basically a long time now, we've been doing our own thing, trying to be Cloud9, I guess, not a Korean copycat.
So walk me through some of your preparation coming into the split now.
Well, you have to play a lot of solo queue. Like, I can't stress that enough. You literally need to, like, usually the best teams will be the teams that play the most, just because they enjoy the game, they play the most, they understand what's strong and what is weak. So if you're in solo queue, something cheesy happens to you, then you find out, like, hey, this is pretty good. You could try it out in a scrim. And you just get to see everything that the game has to offer, every patch and every champion and every player. So you just pick up things and go from there.
Well, how many times do you kind of have to challenge that in a scrim and say, all right, this is or is not going to work?
Well, we have to agree that it looks somewhat good in the first place. Like, I can't just pick up some random mid, like a Darius mid, for example. I can't just be like, hey, guys, I saw this in solo queue. He beat me up. Let's do it. They'd probably be like, no, that probably sucks and you just suck. And then I couldn't do it. But if it's something like crazy, maybe like a Zillion mid or something that could actually be pretty good, they'd be like, all right, we'll try it out. As long as it makes sense on paper, then we can probably put it into practice. But yeah.
Talking about making sense on paper, you guys have recently added a new analyst. How's that working out for you?
Right. So we got a new analyst, Charlie, actually. He is actually really good. He's the analyst for the European Cloud9 team as well that we just picked up recently. He fills the roles of what Alex needs to do, and he actually does a very good job on it, and he gives us a lot of information we don't know before. Like, I was playing a few champions, I'm just learning them, and he tells me like these cool little tips about them that I didn't know beforehand. I'm just like, oh, that's actually pretty useful, and like he gives a lot of good information.
Awesome.
So.
Yeah, and he's coming across the pond a bit. He's doing European analysis and North American analysis. That happened a little bit with the roster moves as well. There, with all the 7 teams that moved, was there a team that had the best roster moves, you think, in the offseason in North America?
I think the team that got the strongest so far from a roster change was probably Team Solo Mid. Bjergsen coming over from Europe into the addition of TSM. They've become really strong since last split. They all started playing solo queue a lot more. I run into the odd one a lot. He's been playing a ton. Especially stopped playing Guild Wars 2 and started playing a lot again. And they're just like all spamming solo queue, and so is Bjergsen, and it's just becoming a so much better team just because they're putting effort into it now. And they're just trying to become the best again.
And you've actually been up against Bjergsen quite a lot. Do you want to talk about that experience?
Right, so when I first came back from my trip in Vietnam, which was when he just came over to America, I actually had to play versus him a lot, and I was getting dumpstered because I didn't play in a long time, and like it was like on Reddit, and I was getting like killed a lot, so that kind of sucked. But I've been doing better over the weeks, obviously, and it's very interesting playing versus him. I learned a lot from him, so.
So who do you think on the team coming into improvements has made the best over the break? Who are you excited for people to see coming up?
Oh, for teams?
For at least you, for your team.
For our team? I don't know. So from my own perspective, I can't really tell if one of my players drastically improved because we weren't necessarily bad beforehand anyway. So it's like I can't see us going from like bottom to the top because it's hard for me. But like for other teams, for example, I think people are underestimating like say Team Coast. They're actually really good. They play a lot of solo queue. They got the new analyst Alex Penn actually, and what they lacked last season was a good pick and ban phase. They've always been kind of lackluster in that. They've had some good ones, but majority of them were pretty bad. But we've done picks and bans with Alex before, and he knows what he's doing. So with the addition to him to the team, they're going to be a really strong team, top 4, I imagine. And then it's just a lot of teams are getting stronger, and everyone's just starting to play more. And I think they enjoy the game more, so it's going to be an interesting split.
Was there any offseason moves that actually surprised you when you saw the team do it?
Yeah, so for Dignitas, actually, I was kind of surprised they got Cruiser the Bruiser for top, and they sent Kiwi Kid to support. I've always thought Kiwi Kid was a pretty good top laner personally, and no offense, but I don't think Cruiser is a giant improvement from what Kiwi Kid did top anyway.
Interesting.
I think Dignitas had different issues rather than their players. But I guess if they know better than I do, of course, on what is wrong with their team. So I imagine they just did what the best is for them. And hopefully they can pull through and become a super strong team too.
All right, Hyde. Nif said it would be Alliance in Europe. Your prediction for the top team in North America at the end of this split?
My prediction for their top team, I'm going to have to say Cloud9. I can't not root for my team. Even if that's not true, I'm rooting for us.
Yeah.
All right, Hyde. Thank you very much for joining us, waking up so early. Best of luck in the start of the season. Hope you guys